Hey everyone, Simon here with an update on the April crypto markets as I see them. Again, none of this is financial advice. This is just astrology and for informational purposes. But before I launch into that, I want to give a scam alert. There's somebody, I guess I've been upgraded to to the fact that now there are scammers impersonating me in my own channel with comments like this. So you'll see here, this scammer has taken my picture, written my name, and made a channel. Now, if you click on that, their channel has no content. And they're asking you to contact them for financial advice. Guys, I will never ask you to do this. I'll never ask you for anything private, any kind of money, except for what my courses are. My courses are on my website, decodingvedicwisdom.com, spirittype.com, and you can get them directly there. I do have a weekly crypto group, which is on donation basis only. You can find the links below here, and a lifetime group called Lifetime, where you get all classes, past, present, and future, as well as weekly updates. And I make special classes for my lifetimers. That's $300, but that's it, right? I don't do charts. I don't personal one-on-one advice. Look at this person doesn't even know how to spell basic words like advice. So clearly this is someone for whom English is not their first language. Technically, I guess I learned 2 languages at once when I was growing up, but English is basically my first language. But I certainly know how to spell a simple word like advice. So you scammers, now, you scammers out there, you're doing a horrible thing. You're impersonating one person, that's fine, but you're doing it to extract money from other people who trust that one person, and that's not fine. I don't care if you impersonate me, but do it for something good. You're doing it for something bad, so that's bad karma. You're getting the curses of not just the people you impersonate, but also the people you scam. And, that reminds me of a story. So I'm going to pick up the mic here and tell the story. But wait, Simon, we want the crypto. Get to the crypto. Okay, just fast forward, okay? But I'm going to tell you a little story. There was this is from the Ramayana, and this is the backstory of the Ramayana. There was a vagabond who used to waylay people on the road. Now, back in the day before cars and trains, people used to walk, or sometimes they'd have a bullock cart or something, a horse cart. But going was slow, and in vast places like India, or any place that had vast highways and so forth, there were stretches that were very dangerous and very solitary. So anyway, this person would waylay strangers and say, "Stick them up, give me your money or I kill you." And he had killed people along the way. He certainly robbed people, until one day a yogi was walking by, and he jumped on the yogi and said, "Give me what's in your bag or I kill you." Yogi said, "You can't kill me. You can't kill who I am." And there was such a light, such a power in the yogi's speech that the thief kind of sat there and said, "Well, what are you talking about?" And so they started discussing, and they got down into, why was the thief doing what he was doing, right? Why didn't he try to do something else? Because he was obviously very courageous. He was obviously very motivated. And the thief said, "Listen, I got to feed my wife. I have to feed my children. And that's why I do this." And the yogi said, "Do you think your wife and your children will go to hell with you? Because you're going to hell, right? Or you're going to pay for your sins one way or another. Do you think they'll go to jail with you if you don't believe in hell?" The man said, "Well, certainly, I'm providing for them." "Are you sure about that?" And the guy said, "You know what? you're asking too many questions. So the thief tied up the yogi, right? Said, you stay here, don't move. I'll be back in about a day. I'm going to go home and check. So he went home and his wife was happy to see him. Here's some money, honey. And he said, listen, I want you to sit down here. I got to talk to you guys. Here's what I do for a living. I know I haven't told you the full truth, but I rob people and sometimes I have to kill them. But I provide for you, don't I? We have food, we have comfort. And of course, the wife and his son, I think he had a son, are shocked. And he said, well, what do you expect? This is who I am. And I expect you to fully support me. And so if I have to pay for my sins, you also have to pay because you are my wife and you're my child. And wife was like, hell no, I'm not paying for your sins. All the people you killed, that's not on me. All the people you robbed, that's not on me. I'm not going to jail for you. Same thing with the son. So the thief was like, huh, okay. So he went back to the yogi, untied him, and he said, all right, you were right. Even though I thought I was doing this to support my family, turns out they're not supporting me in doing this. So they left me. They abandoned me. They don't want to suffer from my sins. So now what do I do? This is all your fault. Teach me something now. So the yogi taught him a mantra, which is the name of Rama. But the thief was so evil-minded that all he could say was Mara, which means murder, or in the Buddhist tradition, Mara was the incarnation of the devil, basically, who tested the Buddha in his final in his final moments before enlightenment. Mara came to him with fear didn't work. He came to him with desire didn't work. Came to him with power, temptation, didn't work. So Mara has to do with all of the things that are destructible, destroyable, that can be destroyed. But specifically, it means killing or death or murder. But so the guys started saying the name Mara, 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 Rama, 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 and it turned into Rama. Because the mantra was Rama, he turned it to Mara, but then it turned back to Rama. Rama is the name of the divine. So my point in all this is the people who do these kinds of scams, who prey upon unsuspecting people, and it's not just on my channel, certainly it's on the big YouTubers have this a lot. They are like that thief who are they're clever, they're resourceful. Often they can't spell worth a damn, but still they have abilities. And if they applied those abilities to doing something evolutionary, they would not only make money, they would not only improve their financial situation, they would improve their soul as well. So I'm saying this, hopefully one of them is listening at this point. If you have the resources and the cleverness to impersonate, but still you can't spell, why not turn that into a better use of your time? So instead of scamming people and getting cursed, and your family's cursed, and your family won't help you when you go to jail or when you pay for what you're doing one way or another, because it always comes back, always comes back. The law of karma, as Gandhiji said, God invented karma and took a vacation. That was it. That's all he needed to do. All right, so now we're at the 10-minute mark or something. Hopefully, if you don't want to hear the story, now we're going to move on to my April crypto predictions. But let me finish with this scammer idea. The way to know if something is a scam is to click. And if you click on this person, you will get, let me actually go here. So I've erased them, but if you click, this is the channel. And now, so this person is taking my picture, but my name is spelled with capital letters. On my channel, it's all lowercase. And that's how they do it. They make it so similar, but the way you check is you click and it'll take you to their channel, and look, they have no content. This person has no content. That's how you know it's not me, because I've got hundreds of videos, right, that I've made over the years. So there you go. So anyway, please pay attention, you guys who are listening, who watch this channel, and any other channel. If you think someone is trying to, if you have even the slightest inclination, click on the name and see if they are who they say they are. Okay? All right. What else do I have to share here? I think that's it. So let's get into the predictions. All right. I have the Voyager thing actually, but I'll get to that in a second. So, okay, April. Here's so almost about a month ago, we looked at the chart and we thought that March would be very choppy and very difficult. Difficult because traditionally March has been a difficult month for crypto. March and September, the equinoxes tend to be difficult for crypto. It's historic. But in addition to that, the chart just didn't look good as long as Mars was in Taurus. Now, Mars is going to leave Taurus mid-April. So starting mid-April, particularly around April 17th, I think this market's going to move up rapidly, meaning the crypto market. Now, you might say, well, wait a minute, Simon, Bitcoin hit an all-time high during March. Yes, it did. But how many traders actually made money? And I say that because a record number of traders were also liquidated during March, because as it went up, it also crashed down, and then it will go up and then crash down. And anyone who is longing or shorting the market is getting wiped out. And even people who are like me, just investing, no trading. It's disheartening to watch your savings go up and down. So from one standpoint, you could say, well, no, you were wrong because we hit an all-time high in March and yada, yada. But from another standpoint, March was a very difficult month, I think, for myself, certainly, and I think for other traders. So that's why I think starting in April, instead of it being choppy up and down, I think it's going to be like this, starting to go up. Now, it's April 5th as I make this. I don't think we're out of the choppy water yet, but we're getting close. Jupiter just moved into the sidereal sign of Aquarius. Let me go to real time here. Real time with Simon Chikoisky. No copyright infringement meant to Mr. Bill Maher, who is, I think, probably the reincarnation of Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, in as much as his political wit and humor is uncanny, and his history, 30, 40 years of doing it, is quite impressive. Anyway, real time, here we are. Jupiter, 0 degrees Aquarius, just entered today, basically April 5th. I think it's going to take a few days. Like I said, the middle of April, around, I think the 17th, could be a couple days earlier, but from the middle of April onwards, we begin a very bullish period. Bullish for Bitcoin, but also for altcoins. You know my predictions about Ethereum. I've made them in previous videos. And I think the entire market will be lifted up by this rising tide for at least for the next few weeks. Okay. And now we also now Bitcoin, while I think it will go up, last year I predicted it'll be between 60 to 70, which is pretty much where it is now. I think it's just under 60. I think it's going to be between 60 and 70 here at the end of April and into May, and possibly higher. But Bitcoin may not be the best bet if you're trying to really extract the most value from the market. If you're trying to extract the most value from the market, probably altcoins are going to be a faster, more assured way, I think, of extracting value. And we talk about a lot of those altcoins in our lifetime, especially the crypto questions answer class, especially our lifetime Telegram group. And what I'm starting to do starting this week is every week I'm going to review 5 coins and give specific dates, specific predictions about each of those. And this way, every week we're going to cover 5 different coins outside of class, because our class has grown so much, has become so big, I can't answer everyone's questions. And in that class, I mainly use Prashna, which is horary astrology. So during the week, I'll be using the birth charts of various projects. So mid-April, I think we begin a steep rise up, especially after April 17th. And that's for Bitcoin and the markets in general. For specific coin updates, I'm going to give you one today. This is on my list of 5 coins for this week. I also cover 4 others. If you want to join us for the lifetime program if you can. If you can't, at least join us for the weekly crypto questions answered. It's anything from $5 to $20, $30, whatever you can afford. That's strictly donation basis. And your donations, by the way, are this is, I guess I'm going to announce it here today first, are going towards a charitable trust. And you know, one of the things about being in the crypto market is you can see massive gains. And if you're on my Twitter, I have a Twitter account where I post some of this stuff. I put down, why isn't anybody talking about the real side effect of crypto ownership, which is the growing, irresistible, and irrational need to buy a Lambo? Of course, that's a joke. But instead of buying a Lambo with the, you know, the crypto earnings we may or may not have made, I've created, I'm in the process of creating a charitable trust called Lambodara Trust. And Lambodara has the word Lambo in it, but it's Lamba Udara. Udara means belly. Lamba means pendant or hanging, big belly. And the belief is that everybody should have a big, full belly, not just with food, but with contentment, satisfaction, with education. So even the scammers can learn how to spell. Have I ribbed this scammer enough? So if you're going to scam people, at least when you write, you can spell correctly your sentence. And hopefully, you know, you learn enough ethics and have enough goodwill to decide to not be a scammer. Lambodara Trust is going to help feed people, help educate people in difficult situations. So instead of buying a Lambo, which fortunately now I can, if I want to, with our crypto earnings, I'm going to funnel that into Lambodara and hopefully fill some bellies, because I've got, you know, my belly is, I'm fat, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm also want to help others become full, not just with food, but with knowledge and wisdom. And that's what our trust is going to be. So you heard it here first, guys. This is the first time I'm announcing it. It just sort of came out because this video is supposed to be about crypto, but it's, you know, if you watch any of my videos, I always ramble and go on tangents. So that was my tangent. All right, so back to Voyager. So my point is, even if you come for our donation-based classes, those donations go to a good cause. So give generously if you want to, or if you can't, that's fine. Just give $5 is the minimum. So give $5, $10, whatever. And then you'll be able to ask questions. Those classes get pretty filled up though. So if you can join the lifetime, more likely that your questions will be answered there. All right. So today I'm going to talk about the Voyager coin. I'm going to show you how amazing astrology is, because Voyager, this token went up really, really steeply. And when did it do so? It went up the moment, this is the birth chart of the Voyager token. The moment it started its Sun Rahu period. And you're going to say, well, wait a minute, Simon, Rahu's in the 8th house. Why is this a good period? Well, you know, if you do a full kind of examination of this, Rahu is actually a strong planet for success for this chart, and mainly because it strongly signifies the 11th house and the 7th house. So partnerships, growth, fundraising, all of that will be happening during Sun Rahu. And of course, starting December 30th, right around that time, this token exploded in price. It went up like 20x. But Rahu is in the 8th house, in fact. So it's also going to give the disappointment. Everything plays out in astrology. So now, even though it went up to $7.40, now it's back down to $3.90, almost half. And people are freaking out. Well, nothing happens in a vacuum. So if you've seen this already, congratulations. But right now, as we speak, Ketu is transiting the ascendant of the Voyager token. Ketu is at 19 degrees by transit. And ladies and gentlemen, the south node of the moon, unless it's the yogi of the horoscope, in which it's not, when it transits the ascendant, it's going to exact some payment. And for this reason, there's been this token has been suffering for the last month or so as Ketu is approached. And now he's about to leave this position. So in another couple of weeks, he'll be out of this nakshatra, and particularly out of this Navamsha. At which point I expect the Voyager token to rise up again. And look, it'll continue to be in Sun Rahu until the end of November of this year. So I expect this token to go to at least $10, probably higher. Okay. So you heard it here first. Now, what's the timing? Let's take a look at the Prashna. Remember, we want Ketu to be out of the 1839 degrees. The problem is we have both a true node and we have a true node and a fake node. That's not true. The reality is there's no such thing as a true node. They're all approximations. It's just that the true node factors in more things than the mean node. So the true node is a mean node, believe it or not. The language is very deceptive. There's only, true node only happens twice a month and can be measured only twice a month. Everything else is an approximation. That's when the moon crosses the ecliptic. All right. Anyway, forget about that. But just understand when people talk about, oh, I used a true node because it's true. There's no such thing as a true node. It's all in an interpolation, a calculation of where that position would be if the moon were crossing the ecliptic. But the moon actually crosses the ecliptic only twice a month. So anyway, which node to use? That's going to depend. So let's go to calculation options. Let's start with the Rahu Ketu. Now we're on the mean node. All right, let me erase all of this here. And you can follow me through this. So if you hate that I make these super long videos now, let me know in the comment section and I'll try to keep it more brief. If you don't mind, also let me know because that helps me. Sometimes people just want the facts. But, you know, when you sit with a teacher, when I sat with my teachers, you have to sit for many hours sometimes to get one little nugget of wisdom. And it was your dedication and the process of sitting with them that often extracted that nugget, because then they felt relaxed enough to kind of share with you, okay, check this out. So, and I'm not saying I'm that teacher for you or for anybody, but that was my process, that, You have to learn to be patient. Anyhow, let's go to the prashna, if it will let me. Oh, yes, here we are. And let's see where K2 is right now. Well, there, look at this. K2 is exactly at 19 degrees, 40 minutes. And if we go forward, let's go forward a day, 2, 3. I want to see when K2 goes to about 1640. That's not going to be for a while here. Here, June 1st. Okay. So officially, K2 will leave that Navamsha where Voyager's ascendant is on June 1st. But I think you're going to start to feel the effects before then. So now let's go to the true node, quote unquote, thing, and see when that does it. Here, it's going to leave officially. What's going on here? A week. Yeah, so it's going to be around May 9th. Okay, so between May 9th and June 1st is a long time. Here's my thing. I think practically speaking, May 9th is probably more accurate. Why? Because as the market goes up, starting late April, I think Voyager will also catch on. So it's right now, it's about $4. It costs about $4. I think it's going to go up, and it has some upside. Will it have the same kind of parabolic run that it just had in February, March? I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't think so. So I'm not saying get into Voyager or not. Do your own research. But I think the depression on Voyager that's been happening the last few weeks, and people are like, what the hell is happening with the price of Voyager? It's K2. Nobody can see it. By the way, the same K2 transit over the sound B for Bitcoin. Last January, I made 2 videos telling people Bitcoin is gonna drop, guys. It's gonna drop. I don't know how much, but it's gonna drop because of either a terrorist attack, a hack, a virus, some kind of out of the blue event. And of course, it was the virus, and it did drop Bitcoin from 12,000 all the way down to 3,000. So K2 is powerful, and it comes out of nowhere. And people are like, what the hell just happened? So it's happening for Voyager right now, but I'm telling you, when it leaves, what happened to Bitcoin after? It went from 3,000, now it's 60,000 in a course of a year, 1 year. So K2 is going to leave Voyager's ascendant. Let's see, it's April 5th now, so in about a month. So now would be a good time to position yourself if you're going to do Voyager. All right, so that's my analysis of Voyager. In our lifetime class, I'm going to be talking about other tokens. And by the way, they're not just things I want to talk about. These come from your questions. So if you're like, hey, Simon, I need you to look at Cardano for me, give me the news. I'll do that. And as always, I'm not 100% right. Anyone who tells you they are is smoking something, or, you know, whatever, is a megalomaniac. And sometimes you don't have the right chart. Like Bitcoin, for example, is extremely frustrating because we have at least 3 charts for Bitcoin. So it makes it harder to predict. I'm pretty confident about the Voyager chart, though, because we know the moment it changed its name from Ethos to VGX. So that's there. And then we have here, you know, Theta, Saffron, Celsius. These are all tokens I'll be talking about to our private group. So if you want to join us, info is below. Thank you guys for hanging with me through this video, but I had to make it both as a warning so people don't get scammed, and also as a general prediction on the market, as well as the Voyager token today. All right, I love you guys. Thank you so much for bearing with me, and I hope to see you in Lambodara. I hope your bellies are full and with knowledge, wisdom, and sustenance. Namaste, everyone.